Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Grown Man's Podcast. Playoff teams are set, fantasy season's over, and across from me as always, Tom T-Bone, a.k.a. Whiskers over here.
Yep.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All
Yep,
right.
doing great. Having a good week.
Good.
And yeah,
It's always great to have a good week.
it's better than having a bad week.
I bet I had a better week.
I guarantee
I
you.
didn't have to work.
I guarantee you had a better week.
We actually tried a little bit of piccalilli sauce before we went on the air as well.
But
which we're
we
going to
will-
be reviewing it
yes.
in the next episode.
Yes.
But we did a little pre-tasting.
Yep, but we don't want to tell anybody what we think about it yet.
Nope, gotta listen to the next episode.
That's right.
That's
and I'll
for
tell
sure.
you, I'd say we have strong opinions about it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, my opinion's pretty strong.
Yeah.
And this is actually recommended to us by Gus.
Yes, it
Gus
is.
Toon. Just like you can if you follow and interact with us on Twitter at Grown Man's Pod,
That's right.
Instagram at Grown Man's Podcast, and if you'd like to support the show on Patreon, just search Grown Man's Podcast. We're also trying a pretty delicious whiskey tonight as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you got?
Tonight, for your whiskey drinking pleasure, we have Bulleit Rye, which you may be familiar with Bulleit Bourbon. That's probably the more popular of their whiskey selections, but this is Bulleit 95 Rye Frontier Whiskey, and we recently had this one in a whiskey tasting that we did.
Yeah, this one came third place.
Depends on whether or not you consider yours eligible. I do not, so technically it came in second
Well,
of all eligible whiskeys.
Third place of all the whiskeys. But this one's actually real good. Tastes like it came right out of the...
Well, we don't want to tell people too much about it. They want to stick around
we're
for the
going to
whiskey.
give them a little teaser, though.
Oh, okay. Just tease
little
it out.
teaser.
Yeah,
It's like if you poured it out of your orange juice bottle in the morning.
a little bit. It's got some
Yeah.
citrusiness.
Citrusiness? That doesn't sound right.
It does not sound right at all.
A little citrus on the
citrusness.
taste palate.
Is citrusness? Is that
I
the
don't
correct?
think that's a word. Citrusness?
It has a flavor of citrus.
There we go.
We'll get there eventually. Come on the journey with us, guys.
In the show after the show, maybe we'll get that right. Probably not, but maybe.
Or maybe it'll just be. Are we doing it the show after the show again?
Oh, yeah.
Or are we keeping it in the show?
Nope, it's the show, after the music.
Okay.
That was a one-time special thing.
Whoa. All right.
Yeah. We even named our last week's episode that.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah, that's what we did.
We were all crazy last week, all loosey-goosey with how we were doing things and naming things, and I think we're still all loosey-goosey, Hattie.
Yeah, there's
You're a little loosey-goosey. You're sitting there sipping on a mimosa.
Oh, yeah.
That's as loosey as a goose can get.
I love mimosas.
Do you?
They're fantastic.
I like mimosas a little bit.
I like them a lot.
I'll usually get stuff to make when I'm on vacation if I'm down at the beach or something, just because it's like,
They're so easy to make. They're delicious.
they're extremely easy to make.
It goes really well with this Bulleit Rye as well.
Yeah.
It's orange juice.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I heard somebody recently told me, who was it? I think it was somebody I had over for dinner. I think it might have been Jeremy that was over for dinner last night. He told me.
It was just like a shooting outside our window.
Yeah, there was definitely something. Had to go get your gun. But he was telling me getting a vanilla whipped vodka, like the flavored vodka that's vanilla whipped, and mixing it into orange juice to make a creamsicle.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we should try that sometime.
Yeah,
That'd be good.
I like whipped cream and vodka.
Yeah.
Never had them together.
It's
but...
not actually whipped cream. It's just vodka that's flavored like whipped cream.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I would still try that.
For sure.
I'd try everything once. Just like this piccalilli sauce that we're trying a little bit
Sometimes
later.
we'll try things many times when we like it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if we don't like it, we're only trying it once.
That's true.
That's how we do it.
Yep.
Talking about one and done, what about Freddie Kitchen? Gets right into our NFL news.
Hoochie Mama.
What do you like about that transition right there? That was quick.
How'd you like that Hoochie Mama drop?
I
just
loved
did?
the Hoochie Mama.
Yeah.
drop.
Hoochie Mama.
I loved it.
All right. Yeah, so a little bit shocking, but also at the same exact time, not that shocking. I thought that he should be fired.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
for them to end with a 6-10 record with that much talent on that team,
Yep. He wasn't the man for the job.
he was not the man for the job. But you also have to admit you're wrong, which owners and general managers don't usually like to do.
That is true.
So I was a little surprised.
I don't like when GMs and owners come out, because just last week they were like, we are fully committed to Freddie Kitchens. He's the man for the job. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as the Week 17 game is over, they're like, oh, he's fired.
Well,
it's like, just say, that you will evaluate everything at the end of the season, because that's true. I mean, whether you're going to be staying there or fired, that is true. Like, why come out publicly and say he's the man for the job, we're behind him 100%, and then one game later fire him?
I don't know if that is what was said. I think what was said was Freddie Kitchens said that I feel like I have the support of the organization.
No, I think the ownership came out and said he's the man for the job.
Okay, so if that is the case, then that's crazy nonsense for them to do that.
I hate when they do that.
I do too.
It's like, just be like, we'll evaluate it after the season.
But in the case of the Jets, where they said they were not going to fire Adam Gase, I kind of wish they'd make an exception in that situation. Because I would like Adam Gase to be gone.
Adam Gase is not gone yet.
He is not gone yet.
But there's another coach on the teetering wall of staying or going. Mm-hmm. Another transition. How do you like this one?
I don't like this transition. You could have easily transitioned into Adam Gase is still there, but another coach in New York City is not. That would have been a better transition.
Now I'm going with Jason Garrett.
Okay.
As he's meeting with the Joneses.
Yes.
Right now.
Trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Yep. What do you think?
I think he is definitely gone.
I think he's gone as well.
And I think that is 100% the correct course of action.
Yep.
I think he has lost the confidence of everybody.
Oh yeah,
not just the team but the fan base, the ownership, the team. I think the entire stratosphere around the Cowboys has lost faith in Jason Garrett. See, I got Gase in my head. I almost called him Gase and Garrett.
Gase and Garrett.
I think Gase and Garrett should be fired.
Yeah.
See how I did there? I said Gase and Garrett.
I like it.
Gase and Garrett.
Gase and Garrett.
Yeah. I'm trying to put it out into the universe. Do you think it's gonna work?
No.
Hey, come on. You could just say yes. It wouldn't affect anything.
All right, yes.
There you go.
It's not true, though.
All right.
And one other coach,
I wonder who
also
it is.
in New York, which T-Bone over here spoiled the big surprise by Pat Shurmur.
Yep.
New York Giants.
Pat.
I almost call them the Jets, because you're even getting me confused with all this Jets love over here.
What Jets love? I'm talking about how much I hate Adam Gase. That ain't Jets love. That is Jets frustration. It's the only thing I know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But Pat Shurmur's also gone.
Yeah.
So we'll see what goes on there.
Yep. Yeah. So let's see.
I think by next week, when I am not on the podcast, by the way, I will be away on business. It'll be all up to the social media guru over here.
That's right.
To record, edit, and publish the next week's podcast. So we will see how that turns out.
Yes, it'll be interesting.
Week. Yeah. Tune in. Because
there might not be anything to tune into.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely going to listen to that episode and point out all the mistakes.
I would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm always open
big long list of things.
Always open to constructive criticism. And if you guys have constructive criticism for us, feel free to let us know on Twitter at GrownMansPod.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how do you feel? Are you feeling comfortable next week?
I'm feeling appreciative. You know what I'm feeling appreciative of?
What?
Our Patreon sponsors. We love our Patreon sponsors. I don't want to forget about them.
No, we never want to do that.
Of course not. Darlene, Gus, and Barry, we greatly appreciate you guys. If you guys that are not named Darlene, Gus, and Barry want to be part of the super cool exclusive club that is Patreon supporters, you can do that, right?
You absolutely can. Yeah. You just got to search Grown Man's Podcast on patreon.com. It's as easy as that.
And then after a strict and rigorous background check, we will either approve or deny you.
Yep. Most likely deny, but...
Yeah, we have I'd say probably 98% of the applications we get, we deny. So if you get in, you should probably feel pretty good about yourself. Yeah,
it's an exclusive club.
Trey Class A.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
All right, so that's all I have for news. Do you have anything else that you'd like to bring up?
So, did you see... I'll spend a little bit of time on Antonio Brown. I know he doesn't deserve it.
He doesn't.
He doesn't deserve it. But he has been going so crazy lately.
Real fun.
I mean... I follow him on Twitter. I don't know why I do.
Because it's funny.
Because it's hard to look away. It is funny, but it's also not that funny because it's like I genuinely feel sad for the guy. But also, he's like intentionally tanking everything that's going on. It's like, do you see he's coming out with a rap album?
I did. I watched. You sent me that one with the girl dancers in the background doing nothing. And he was. I don't even, he was just going back and forth. I don't even know what he had in his hand, like a vacuum cleaner. A guitar.
A guitar. But it looked like somebody holding a guitar that had never held a guitar in their entire life or seen anybody hold a guitar.
Definitely wasn't playing that guitar.
No, for sure not. And nobody would believe that he was.
No.
So I guess I could be wrong on this, but I think the title of the album is No White Women 2020.
But didn't he have like a ton of white women in the background?
It was almost exclusively white women in the video. Which just kind of like feeds into the building like crazy sphere of nonsense around Antonio Brown.
Well, he had an opportunity with the Saints. He got worked out.
Yeah.
They actually specifically told him no entourage. Right. So what do you think the Antonio Brown thing would do? Bring his entire entourage with him.
Like, he talks about how he wants to get back into the NFL and then does absolutely nothing to help himself.
He's actively trying not to be in the NFL.
He must be.
He is like Colin Kaepernicking his NFL chances up.
Yeah, but he's not doing it for a good cause. He's just like he's torpedoing his career in any like Colin Kaepernick can at least get like brand deals with companies and stuff because they appreciate like the social aspect of what he's doing. Mm-hmm. Like Antonio Brown is not doing this for a good cause. He's just doing it. It's like somebody who like takes like a beautiful sports car and just like lights it on fire. And it's like, there's no political statement. There's no good to be gained from it. He doesn't even have insurance on it. He's just like, I just figured I'd burn it just because I didn't have anything else going on today.
Well, what do you think his agent? Like, just going like
Drew Rosenhaus.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're his agent, like every day you probably just look at Twitter and you're like, please don't be too crazy. Yes. Please don't be too crazy. And then you check it and you're like, oh.
Like seriously. Again. And the funny thing is if you look at like his Twitter, you'll see tweets that are so incredibly clearly written by Antonio Brown, and then like the very next tweet will be so totally written by
not Antonio
Brown. The telltale giveaways is this: punctuation and proper grammar
and actual words.
Yes.
Drew Rosenhaus is probably just like, all right, Brown.
Yeah.
Give me your phone for like 10 minutes. Write a couple tweets and give it back.
Let me undo some of this damage. And Antonio Brown's like, why don't you watch me whip, watch me nay-nay. That's what Antonio Brown says.
You know that dance?
I do not know the dance.
What?
I don't.
You know the stanky leg?
I don't know anything about it.
Oh, come on.
It was just a pop culture reference.
You gotta at least know the
which I usually don't try and venture into pop culture references.
Because I'm going to call you out on it, and then you won't know what it is.
Do you know how to do the stanky leg?
I do know how to do the stanky leg.
We'll do it now.
No, I'm good. I'm not a real big dancer.
You're not? Are you a dancer at all?
No.
You'll dance a little bit, evidently. You said I'm not a big dancer. That means you're a little bit of a dancer.
Occasionally. On vacation, I may dance.
Yeah?
But not at like a wedding or anything boring.
Huh. Interesting.
Yep. When there are people around that'll never see me again, maybe I will dance.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I'll dance if I'm like on a vacation and I had a couple drinks or something.
Yep. Loosens up the old stanky leg for sure.
I'll tell you this actually. You give me enough drinks and you can't keep me off the dance floor. but short of that, you could not pay me enough to get on the dance floor.
Pay me enough to get on the dance
floor. I mean, it's that big of a swing. So, no, I would not consider myself a dancer, and I do not know how to do any of those things. But Antonio Brown wrecking his career.
Yep. Or wrecked his career, more like.
I think he's still doing it. I don't think it's past tense. I think he is still in the process of wrecking
it.
Yep.
How many teams? Ooh, here's a good one. Next year, how many teams sign /release/sign Antonio Brown?
I would put the over/under on teams that show interest in Antonio Brown.
Oh, show interest. I would be up there.
I don't think it'll be that high up there. He's insane. I mean, I think he is completely radioactive, and I don't think a lot of teams want that headache.
The Saints already looked at him this year.
Yes, which I don't get. That didn't make any sense because the Saints already have a clear-cut number one in Michael Thomas.
Yep.
And, they have some decent pieces. Kamara can catch the ball. They have Ted Ginn.
Let me tell you.
What?
I'm sorry. I'm getting off topic
Brandon
this whole
Cooks.
episode.
Yep.
If the Packers got Antonio Brown, I would not be mad. Here's why. Because all their Packers, but outside of Devontae Adams, are terrible. I would accept his craziness for our playoff run here. Like, just all we need him to do is show up and catch the ball when it's delivered to him. That's all he needs to do.
He's incapable of doing that right now.
I don't think he's incapable of doing that.
I do.
Just be like, give him a fake phone and be like, here, send out all these tweets and not have it connected to the internet. I
would say that the Packers are probably one of the more conservative-seeming organizations.
For sure. I don't think it will ever happen. But the Packers need another wide receiver in the worst way. I would not be opposed to Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
that's how desperate I am as a fan that they get
I don't
a wide
think
receiver.
that fixes the problems that the Packers have.
I think that's their only problem. They have a decent offensive line. They have a great quarterback, a great running back, and in my opinion, a top 5 wide receiver in Devontae Adams.
Aaron Rodgers has been struggling.
Yeah.
I mean, he has been. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is one of the great quarterbacks of the last 10 years. Or longer. How long? 12 years, 13 years has been in the league.
It's a brand new offense. He hasn't been struggling.
I mean, he has been struggling.
He's missed a couple throws.
He had 29 yards in the first half of the game yesterday.
Yep.
That's struggling.
Yeah. He's fine. I'm not worried about Aaron Rodgers at all. The wide receivers aren't where they're supposed to be, and they're not catching the balls when he's delivering them.
Yeah, but they're not that bad of wide receivers. They're not dropping balls.
Oh, they're dropping balls.
Yes, but there are also passes that are not on target also.
Sure. In Sunday's game, there were 3 passes that I counted of Aaron Rodgers that were his fault.
Yeah.
That were wide open guys.
Mm-hmm. For long passes.
One of them was a short pass to Aaron Jones out of the flat. Mm-hmm. There's another one over the middle, I think, and then there was a long pass that he missed. But those are on Rodgers, which everyone misses once in a while. I mean, that's unusually high for him to miss, especially the Aaron Jones one, which was wide open. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, wide receivers just are not getting open.
Yeah, I do not think that Antonio Brown can come into a team at this point with his mental health the way that it is.
Be like run around out there, be crazy, and catch the ball when it comes.
Well, that's all he can do is run around and be crazy.
That's fine.
That's what he has shown.
Like, put him on one side of the field and be like, run whatever you want, just get open. Rodgers will give you the ball at some point if he's not going.
He'd run around screaming, "I'm free! I'm free! Free at last!" and put it on YouTube.
He'd be like the black cat in the Dallas game who just ran around.
That is
or
exactly
the squirrel like 2 years ago who ran around. Yeah, that's all you need.
So so I just figured we'd touch on that because we haven't visited the Antonio Brown corner in a little while.
Oh yeah.
Covered the firings there.
Yeah, I think I'm good with news.
Yeah,
my news. Yeah. Do you have anything?
Yep. So a report came out today that Redskins are expected to hire old Riverboat Ron. As of the recording of this podcast, that has not happened yet. Mm-hmm. But we were talking about it beforehand. You don't think that'd be a good fit?
I don't think it's a good fit. No. Riverboat Ron's a defensive coach. He's also kind of a little bit old school. And the Redskins, with Dwayne Haskins and a couple other guys in their team, seem like a very young team. I don't think that's a good fit. I think he will improve their defense. I mean, they're working with something on the defense with the Redskins anyway. Yeah. So I think he could bring something there. But offensively, I don't see him working with Dwayne Haskins very well.
I think that he's open-minded enough as a coach where it could work there. He's not like a strictly old school football mind. I think that he's willing to kind of think outside the box with a quarterback like Haskins that may require that kind of thinking. Obviously, he struggled his rookie year here. I don't think it'd be the worst. I mean, I think Ron Rivera's a good coach, so I think anywhere he goes is going to improve as a result of that for the most part. I mean, there's a couple coaching vacancies or a couple coaching areas where, it would be a downgrade, but a lot of areas I think it'd be an upgrade. So
yeah, I think he'd be better in a bigger market too. Like he's kind of been in a small market with the Panthers.
I'd love it if the Jets got him.
I mean, I bet you would. I just think, the other New York team, the Giants, I think they could benefit from him. The Browns. I think the Browns are actually a great fit. Yeah. Because they have talent on offense. So you have a more traditional quarterback and talent all over the field on defense. Like he can improve, just make the unit solid. Because I think the Browns have talent. They just need coaching. Yeah. And I think Ron Rivera would be an awesome candidate for that job.
I heard speculation. I don't know how credible it is, but I heard speculation that Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator for the Patriots,
didn't this happen with the Colts a couple years ago?
It did. But I heard that the Browns want Josh McDaniels.
See, I don't think that's a good fit either. Well, maybe.
I think that he could work there.
I think he could work there.
He obviously would not be overwhelmed by the talent that's there.
No,
coming from the Patriots.
Yeah.
But you know what? It seems like when guys come out of the Patriots, like Bill Belichick runs such a tight ship there that these guys that come out from underneath him to become coaches oftentimes like try to take that same mentality with them to wherever they're going. It's like you have to start winning before you can be like a rigid jerk. Yep. To your players and to the media.
But I don't think Josh McDaniels is a rigid jerk. Did Mike Vrabel coach under Bill Belichick, or was he just a player?
He was a player there.
Just a player.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, because he's doing pretty well with the Titans.
Yeah.
So I think also, drawing a blank on his name, the Lions head coach.
Yes.
Matt Patricia. I think he's actually doing a good job. I've watched a lot of Lions games.
The record would say
the
otherwise.
record has been terrible.
I mean, he's a defensive coordinator before, and their defense is bad.
Yes. Their defense is bad, but I think that is slightly talent-wise.
Yeah.
But bad overall, anywhere you want to put it. But the Lions were in every single game they've played this year.
Yeah.
And they had a lead. They actually had a lead in 14 out of their 17 games this year.
That's interesting.
So they were in literally all 16 games they played. They lost a lot of close ones, and their record is not good.
That's what the Lions' whole MO is as an organization, is just losing close games.
But you had the Lions, who were not the greatest team this year, and were 3-11-1, I believe. 3-12-1.
Yes,
would be their ending record. But I mean, if you had those teams playing close and tough games week 14, 15, 16, and 17, when your record's you're already out of the playoffs, and they're still playing hard
with
for
a backup
your coach,
quarterback.
With a backup quarterback, that says something.
It does say something. Yeah,
I mean, they were in the game against the Packers.
Yes, they were.
You have obviously different opinions of the Packers than I do.
No, I think you have pretty similar opinions of the Packers.
All right.
I think that me and you both think that the Packers are playing at a lower level than the record shows. In that they're probably not going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. But they only have to win 2 games to get to the Super Bowl. Anything can happen.
That's true.
I think they're the 4th best team in the league, right behind the Ravens, the Saints, and the 49ers.
I'd have to look at it and think about it.
Yeah,
I don't think
maybe that you could make an argument for the Chiefs in the 4th spot.
I don't think they're top 2 in the NFC.
But the thing,
do you think they're top 2 in the NFC?
No, I said they were 4th in the NFL.
Right.
Behind, but also behind the Saints and the 49ers. So I'd put them 3rd in the NFC.
So, and who'd you put them in front of, or who'd you put in front of them in the AFC? The Ravens?
The Ravens.
Not the Chiefs?
I think they're both about the same level, but I would pick the Packers.
Okay.
Only because the Packers win the close games and have shown that they can do that. The Chiefs have been either hot or not in their close games.
Okay.
And one of the real reasons I'm picking them in 4th as well is they have an 8-1 record against winning teams, which is weird. I didn't actually know that until I was watching the Lions game. It was one of the things that the commentators put up and showed, which is impressive.
Yeah, it is impressive.
If you go 8-1 versus winning teams, that's ugly or not.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good ranking.
I mean, the Patriots are 2-3. 2-3 against,
and their 2 wins came against the Bills.
Right. Who are another team that I would say is playing below their record.
Yes.
Bills are, I think, a good team, but I don't think they are. What are they? Would they end at
10-6?
10-6.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think
they're right around 9-7.
I think they're the worst team in the AFC by
the playoffs.
A whole step.
Yes, in the AFC playoffs.
AFC playoffs. Yes, that side. Yeah, not in the AFC. I think if there's 4 steps of teams, the other teams are step 1 and step 2. There's no teams in step 3, and the Bills are step 4.
I think the Texans. I would say that the Bills are probably the worst team in the AFC playoff run, but I don't think it's a large margin.
I think it's a full step.
I don't think it's a full step.
Who are they playing this week?
The Bills this week are playing the
Texans, right? All right,
and I think that's a game they could win.
Yeah.
Texans
have played, I think I mentioned this last week on the podcast, they seem to play to their talent level. Mm-hmm. They're just one of those teams that when they're playing like the Ravens, they play real well and they fight, and then they'll play the Redskins and play like the Redskins.
Yep, for sure. All right, so that's all I have for the news.
Yeah, that's all I have.
So you want to move it along?
Yeah, let's go on to the 2020 draft. We're going to cover the top 5 draft picks.
Yep. All right, let's do it.
All right, we're going to break down the top 5 draft picks of the upcoming 2020 draft. The draft order is set as of this week. Bengals, number 1. Redskins, number 2. Lions, number 3. Giants, 4. And the Dolphins. Knocking off the Patriots and knocking their draft pick down to number 5.
But not knocking their boots.
Not knocking their boots. But
maybe. Maybe. We don't know what they do when they're in private.
That's true. Maybe they knock their boots. They knock their
maybe
cleats.
not together. Probably not together. But probably with their wives.
They knock their cleats.
And that insinuates that they're knocking them together.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Knocking boots is
I walked right into that one.
I guess so. I thought we were on lockstep on that, and then you're like, well, I don't know, maybe they lock cleats. I'm like, I don't think
well,
so.
They don't wear boots; they wear cleats. So
That's true.
I didn't know where I was going.
Yeah.
I was just rambling.
Yep, that's
I was
cool.
Like, cleats, yeah, that sounds good.
Yep, cleats.
Yeah. Who else?
That means they're doing it in the locker room.
Not good. We will continue on with
Fitzmagicking. Good idea.
Fitzmagic delivered versus the Patriots.
What are you doing in the draft?
Well, I was saying that they beat the Patriots.
They did.
Yeah, just throwing a little Fitzmagic love out there because we love Fitzmagics.
I love me some Fitzmagic.
Especially when they beat the Patriots.
Not in a knocking cleats kind of way, but just in a strictly platonic way. I love Fitzmagic.
Yeah, this was the week that Barry was actually supposed to be on the podcast with us. He canceled.
That would have been great.
I know.
That's why he canceled.
I'll
bet you that's why he canceled.
I mean, they lost to the Dolphins lost their second round seed, went to number 3. He was like, man, I can't be on this podcast.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh, I did. That's the first thing I thought about when he was canceled. And I was like, hiding his little Patriots hidey hole because they lost to the Dolphins.
You know what? You're probably right. I'm going to have to text him after this and give him crap about that.
You should.
Did you text him and tell him that?
No.
No? Well, I'm going to have to. I say, Barry, what gives there, Hoss?
What
thought you were going to come in here flying high as a Patriots fan coming off a Dolphins win.
He wasn't flying high.
With your first round bye.
He was flying real low, right into the 3rd seed.
That's right. Hitting the hills.
Playing the Texans.
Titans.
Playing the Titans. I don't think you want to play the Titans either.
I wouldn't want to play
team
Titans.
You don't want to play.
But I don't have a lot of football skill.
But that's coming up in the Grown Man's Pick in next Thursday's episode.
Yeah. So
for right now.
Yeah, so don't worry about that for now, guys. Just chill.
Chill.
Yeah. Why don't you relax?
Relaxing.
Yeah.
A little chillaxing?
No.
All right.
Too much? It's not 2008.
Too much?
Yeah.
All right. Cincinnati Bengals, who they take number 1 spot?
I am going to go with Joe Burrow.
Yep.
LSU quarterback.
For sure.
Highly touted prospect. The Bengals obviously need to move on. You don't have the first pick in the draft very often without paying a lot of draft capital for it. So they need to get the best quarterback that's available, move on from Andy Dalton. Although, I don't know. I don't know if Andy Dalton's still under contract or not, but it might not be an awful thing to have the upcoming kid play, kind of learn. It's good to learn from a veteran.
It is.
And I think that Andy Dalton's the kind of guy who would be willing to teach a rookie kind of the ropes.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think they're going to go Joe Burrow.
Yeah, that's my pick as well.
Yeah.
Number 2, the Redskins. This one I'm torn on because a lot of mock drafts have him taking Chase Young, and I think they could go that way. He's probably the best pure talent in the draft, probably the best sure thing, if you so to speak. But they are just so decimated on defense and on the outside. It's a passing league. Jeffrey Okudah out there, cornerback from Ohio State. I just think it's too good to pass up in a position of need. I think they take him. I think they don't take Chase Young.
All right, I am going to kind of go out on the limb that I've been building for myself and say that the Redskins are going to move on after 1 year from Dwayne Haskins. I think that they are not. They're going to have a new head coach, right? They're going to have a new president of player personnel or whatever. Also got fired this week. And so I think that they're going to want to bring in their own guy. And they have a very good opportunity at this point to do that. I don't think that Dwayne Haskins showed enough to make it so that that's an impossibility. And so I say that they're going to go with Justin Herbert, Oregon Ducks quarterback.
Oh, wow.
So, moving on from Herbert. No, not Herbert. Haskins. And making a bold move.
All right.
Yep.
Over Tua.
Over Tua, yeah.
All right.
Well, Tua got injured.
He did.
Tua got injured, I think a hip or femur or some kind of big injury. Maybe lower back. I'm not sure exactly.
All right.
But, Tua got injured, and so, I think he's still a high-touted draft pick, but I think he's kind of got some risks associated with him at this point. I think he'll still go pretty high, but, I would take Herbert over him at this point.
All right. So, number 3 is the Lions. Who you got there?
All right. For the Lions, I'm going to go. We just got done talking about how Matt Patricia in his defense has been kind of lacking. And I think he's got to go if he's still on the board with Chase Young.
Yep.
Edge rusher, get that pressure off the edge. Because when you can get pressure on a quarterback, really good, consistent pressure, that opens up the rest of your defense to be able to make plays and, to get a little bit of, breathing room. If you can't get to the quarterback, you can't cover for 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds every single play. So
yeah,
Chase Young.
Yeah, I have Chase Young slipping to the Lions as well with Redskins not taking him. Because I have Redskins taking Jeffrey Okudah.
Oh.
So I think Chase Young, especially in that division when you're playing against Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers, I think edge rusher is a little bit more.
And Mitch Trubisky, you got to really draft a plan for him.
You just put your high school kids out there
Okay.
when you play against him.
Yeah.
But yeah, another Ohio State guy going 2 and 3. Pretty high picks for Ohio State.
Yep.
All right, number 4, the New York Giants.
Yeah. New York Football Giants.
New York Football Giants.
I am going for this one. They have their presumed quarterback of the future in Daniel Jones. They've paid some attention to their offensive line over the free agency, and I think in last year's draft they did a little bit to address it.
Yeah, thinking they're taking a Georgia man.
No.
No,
I think they're going
right.
to Alabama.
Really?
I think they did. They're going to need to address some pieces on their defense, but I think the area that they need to address the most is going to be their offense in their pass catcher, because they got rid of OBJ last year and they didn't do a sufficient job of replacing talent on offense in the pass catching realm. They have Sterling Shepard, who seems to be injured all the time.
Yeah.
They got Golden Tate, but he's getting old.
That Slayton kind of came on there. Darius Slayton.
For a little bit, but then also he just completely disappeared in some games.
All right.
He's not that great. So I'm going to give them Jerry Jeudy, Alabama wide receiver. Supposed to be the top wide receiver in the draft. So
all right.
Yeah, I think if they get him, they would be able to really help Daniel Jones out.
Okay. Yeah. As I alluded to earlier, I think they're going to continue to work on that offensive line. They're going to go to turn to a Georgia man and Andrew Thomas. I think the best offensive tackle on the board. And you're playing the Eagles and the Cowboys, and I'm drawing a blank. The Redskins. They have. I think they need offense of tackles. Their offensive line has been bad for multiple years. They did address it a little bit this year and shored it up a little bit. But
Jones was getting sacked left and right, and fumbling all the time. So
Daniel Jones was having a little bit too much pressure, and if he really is the quarterback of the future, you need to get him a little bit of time. And I think Andrew Thomas is probably the most NFL ready tackle offensive lineman there is. All right,
so
brings us to number 5.
Oh,
Miami Dolphins.
5-5, staying alive.
Man, it's cold today. Miami sounds real nice.
It does sound nice.
I want to be warm.
It was rainy too. It was real gross.
I know. It was dark, drab,
muddy,
and weary.
Yeah,
dreary.
It
Typical Western New York.
I felt weary with how dreary it was.
I felt real weary.
We should get some Chinese food.
You're always wanting foods, but I would do that.
Do you want to get some cooking class?
Yep. Oh, wait. Name names on the podcast.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. We also have some sandwiches coming up with this.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
In the next episode with some little chow chow.
Piccalilli sauce.
Piccalilli.
Yeah. The chow chow, I'm not so sure why that.
I didn't see any. Chow chow.
The rest of them did not say chow chow, but yeah, it's.
We can put this on our Chinese food.
We could.
Oh yeah, that'd be a real good taste testing.
But yes, Tua Tagovailoa is who I'm giving to the Dolphins.
Yep.
I think that he is somebody who they could bring in, and even if he's going to be slightly, still in his recovery from his injury this year, they have either Josh Rosen,
and
Fitzpatrick. Both quarterbacks that could be, capable of being a bridge guy for the season if he needs a couple weeks or a month to get, into playing shape. And yeah, I think they're still going to use the opportunity. They obviously were trying to tank at the beginning of the year, but the coach and the players were not fully on board with that. They tried to fight hard and win games,
and they did.
And they did. Yeah, some really awesome games like the Week 17 game against the Patriots.
I think Fitzpatrick would actually be a really good fit on a team. Is the Carolina Panthers. I do. He's got the check down guys. He's got DJ Moore, which came on, I think it was the 5th ranked wide receiver this year, total yardage.
Yeah.
If you get one deep threat so he can chuck the ball, yeah, I think it'd be a great fit. They got a good defense. I mean, he wins with the Dolphins. You don't think he can win with the Panthers?
I can see him going to Jacksonville. I think he'll stay. I mean, he's still under contract, I think, in Miami.
I just think Miami might move on.
They might, but why would you? He's probably, even if he's your backup, he's the best backup in the league.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I mean, if you actually do draft Tua, though, I mean, you're going with Tua. If you're the Dolphins,
for your starter,
yeah.
As long as he's healthy, that's
as long as he. Can
yes, I completely agree. Yes, as long as Tua's healthy, if they do draft him, that's who your day one starter is going to be. Mm-hmm. But because of the fact that he may not be 100% come the beginning of training camp or whatever, he might be a little bit behind. In that situation, you'd want to have a nice bridge quarterback for the season. You know, take over the reins, get you through the first quarter or two of the season if need be.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I think Tua goes to the Dolphins as well.
You had him to that too?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
I thought we had more different picks.
We did have a lot of different picks. We both had Joe and Tua, 1 and 5. Chase Young, did you have him going to the Lions?
Yeah.
Yeah, so did I. So 2 and 4. 2 and 4 were different.
I'm good at math.
Two and 4. So what we didn't discuss though is we did the 5 top draft picks. Where we think they're going to go.
Yep.
Who do you think is the number 1 team out of these top 5 that may trade out of their pick? This usually happens every year. There's one team that trades up into the top 5, usually to get a quarterback.
Yep.
Who do you think the best candidate to trade out of it is?
So usually speaking, when you have a top 3, top 5 pick, and you're looking to trade out, it's because you're looking to trade your pick to somebody who's looking for a quarterback.
Yes.
Now, presumably, the teams that have quarterbacks in this are Redskins, Lions, and Giants.
Yep.
Stafford has got a pretty secure spot there in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Giants and Redskins, they did draft somebody in the first round this last year.
Yeah.
Who's most likely to trade out? I would say probably the Giants.
All right.
Yeah, probably the Giants.
My pick's actually the Redskins.
Is it?
Yeah, because, they need talent all over their football team.
They do.
And they're not looking for, presumably, a quarterback because they have Haskins. I think they could trade out a second spot. Whoever needs a quarterback can move up, and they probably would have Tua or the person that you mentioned. I forget his name.
Justin Herbert.
Yeah. So I think they could trade out. Second overall draft pick, you're getting a lot of capital for that too. You're dropping down in the first round, probably getting 2 second-round picks, depending on what the deal is.
At least, at the very, very least.
At the very, very least.
Yeah.
And probably like a late round consideration as well.
Yeah. And
we've seen teams do this in the past where I think the Browns did it and they got a steal for when they did that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be good for the Redskins because they need a lot of players in a lot of different positions. If you can move back and still get a top, like we mentioned, that I think they need cornerback real bad. They could probably move down to 12th spot or maybe even a little bit lower and still get a top 3 or 4 cornerback in the draft.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't say the Redskins, because here's the thing. The Redskins probably aren't going to draft a quarterback, but for, to keep consistency with things that I've already speculated about that, I figured I'd keep it like that. They're probably not going to draft a quarterback in the second round pick. But the reason that I did not say that they are probably the most likely to trade out is because they're going to have a new general manager in there or whatever, president of player personnel, whatever you want to call it for their organization. But I don't know. Trading out the second overall pick when you're a brand new guy in an organization.
Got to be bold.
Yeah, you do have to be bold, but also if you pass up on somebody like a Chase Young, like an absolute like clear cut number 1, day 1 starter, could be, defensive rookie of the year kind of player, you better be real sure about your ability to pick up good value later in the draft as a result of it, because I'm telling you, I think that for a very first draft for a general manager, I think that could be too bold, maybe a little bit too nerve-wracking to risk trading away that second overall pick, because it would be heavily scrutinized. So that's why I said that.
If I was the GM of the Redskins, I'd trade back.
Yeah,
I'd be bold.
And that's why
you've been terrible for how many years now?
That's why I picked Gettleman, because Gettleman's an idiot and he would do it.
Well, that does it
for
the 2020 draft. We're going to be tasting in the show after the show, the Bulleit Rye. As always, interact with us on Twitter, Grown Man's Pod, Instagram at Grown Man's Podcast. Thank you to all the Patreon subscribers. We really appreciate you. And if you would like to join, just go to patreon.com and search the Grown Man's Podcast and sign up, and you'll get an exclusive Patreon exclusive podcast every week. And we'll also send you some Grown Man Podcast stickers.
Yeah, it'd be cool. You'd like it.
Yeah, I think so.
Just do it. That's our slogan.
Just do it is not our slogan. It's I'm a grown man.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a grown man. But so stick around for after the music.
Yeah. Welcome into the show after the show, the whiskey review. Today, T-Bone has brought a very interesting, unique, and wonderful whiskey, if I don't say so myself. It's a little Bulleit. What do we got? What are we tasting here tonight?
Why are you trying to get right into the whiskey, Hattie, when we got to address this creme brulee situation?
Oh, this creme brulee situation is pretty ridiculous because creme brulee is amazing.
I've never had it.
Top 3 of my favorite desserts. And you're worried about the burnt crystal juice along the edges.
It looks gross.
It doesn't look gross.
It does look gross.
You burn a little sugar on top, and it makes it taste delicious.
Here's what I proposed, dear listeners, that they pre-burn a little sugar wafer, a crystal of sugar that is burnt and then placed atop the creme brulee so that you don't have the gross caramel juice around the outside of the creme brulee.
If we have any dessert chefs out there, they're probably cringing right now. Turn over in their beds.
I think that dessert chefs or pastry chefs, I think that they're a innovative bunch. And that perhaps placing a pre-burnt crystal wafer, sugar wafer onto the top, opposed to putting the sugar on and then burning it on the creme brulee, creating a disgusting juice.
It's not really that much juice.
It looks like a lot of juice.
But I don't know what creme brulee you've looked at, but there's not a lot of juice.
I've got something in my mind.
Something in your mind?
Yep.
That's probably not accurate.
That's very possible.
Because creme brulee is awesome. They burn that sugar, and it gets the nice burnt flavor smoke through the custard and obviously the burnt sugar on top, which is delicious. A little crystallized.
See, why would you want that pre-crystallized?
Because it's part of it. But you also don't like tiramisu, which is also
a texture thing. It's a texture thing.
So you don't like custards.
It's not the custard in that I don't like. It's the liqueur soaked ladyfingers. That's like a mushy bread.
Yep.
It's that texture that I don't like. It's just mushy, and there's not a good textural difference in tiramisu. If there was a crunchy aspect, like a thin, graham separator somewhere in there, something to give it some amount of crunch, it's just too one tone as far as the texture is concerned.
So I've actually pulled up some pictures of creme brulee. And I want you to take a look at this picture, and I want you to tell me how much juice is on this.
Okay. Did you cherry pick?
No, I mean I did a little bit, but this is like the creme brulee I've had. This is pretty much the.
Did you call it creme brulee?
See, you got me confused now. No, it's creme brulee.
Okay.
Look at that.
Yes, I will say these all look delicious.
Yeah, that's what creme brulee is. I don't know what this juicy top thing you're thinking of is.
I don't either, I guess.
See?
I don't know. Yeah.
So you're talking
good.
about all this juices. See, yeah, you're even
maybe the thing I'm thinking of is flan.
Like
this one right here is what I kind of think of. Like it just looks like a caramel juice on top.
Yeah, that one's a little messier.
It was a little juicy.
I mean, it's
that was my nickname in high school.
It's wet looking, little juicy.
Yeah, little juicy. That was my. That was my rap name.
Did you wear little tighty whities with juicy across the butt?
Maybe, I don't know.
Is that why your name was Juicy?
It was. I kind of blacked it out. It was a weird time in my life. All right, let's get into this.
Juicy wearing panty T-Bone
over
here.
Panties or whitey tighties. You said whitey tighties.
I did say.
Don't try putting me in panties now. All right,
they're virtually the same.
All right, so Bulleit Rye. This was good. What I like about it says right on here: Frontier whiskey.
Frontier whiskey. Yeah, that's pretty much all it says on that bottle. Because I actually looked There's nothing on that bottle.
It's 95% alcohol, so it's 90 proof. And yeah, I think the bottle. It's kind of like a old Western looking.
Yeah.
If you found this out in the woods, you would think it was from the mid 1800s, maybe.
If you were watching it, that wouldn't be out of place in an old Western movie.
No, it certainly would not.
Pouring a double shot to.
But very simple.
Westerner.
And elegant. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's simple. Super unique.
Yeah, but the whiskey itself is quite nice.
Oh, you're talking about the bottle still. Sorry.
I was talking about the bottle.
Continue with the bottle.
No,
then.
I'm done.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right.
Yeah, we can move on.
Okay. I think the whiskey's real unique.
Yes.
Like not real rye forward either. Usually when you smell or taste a rye, you know you're drinking a rye. Mm-hmm. This, I mean, because I know it's a rye, I get a little bit on the palate, but not much.
I don't get much at all.
You can tell there's like a little rye mash at the end, but that's really it.
Yep.
Like if this was in, like we did this in a tasting last weekend.
Yes.
I did not know I was drinking a rye then when it was completely blind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was tasting because compared to every other whiskey we tasted, and that's kind of the neat thing about doing actual whiskey tastings where you're blindly tasting different whiskeys that people brought. Subtle differences seem like huge differences. In the whiskey. Like when we smelled this one compared to the rest of the ones we were tasting. It smelled like a literal orange grove, or a lemon grove.
It's definitely citrus forward.
Yes, it's less so I think when you have it just by itself.
Yeah.
But it is still there. So what'd you get off the nose?
So I get orange, obviously, lemon zest, and there's like a sweetness, like a sweet candy.
Okay.
I can't put my finger on the exact candy that I'm smelling. But it's definitely something that I've had as a kid, and I just can't put my finger on it, but I'm just going to say sweet candy.
Okay. For me, the nose is citrus, just general citrus. I mean, it's definitely some orange, some lemon, it smells like. A little bit of pine, like, pine needle. And
kind of a little, like a gin?
Yeah.
Like a gin pine?
Yeah, like juniper or something, maybe. And a little bit of ginger. That's what I was getting on the nose. Maybe that's what you're smelling for the sweetness. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's those little ginger candies. Remember those when you were a kid?
Yeah.
The little brown ones that your grandfather had, and they were the last ones you ate, but they were okay.
Yeah. They were sufficiently edible.
I'm eating all the other stuff first, but those are okay.
Yep, for sure. That sounds like a very specific personal memory that you have. But we'll roll with it because it's valid to you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
My grandfather was dead when I was a child. All of them.
I have one grandfather still alive.
Oh, you know what? I had one grandfather that was alive when I was a kid. I take that back.
One.
Yeah.
Well, you only have two. So
I had 3.
Oh, what? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because my mom.
Yep, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Let me tell you.
I was confused.
Deep family secrets, Hattie. I don't know if you do, but we can go do it.
No, I think I do.
Okay.
I know, like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But I just never thought, grandfather, grandparents bringing into the picture.
Okay.
Weird.
Yeah.
3 sets, huh?
3 sets.
People
are going to be like, we need to know. But you're not going to know.
You're not going to know. I only had 2 sets.
What?
I only had 2 sets.
Like a normal person.
Like, I mean, what is normal these days? Probably a lot of people have 3 or 4 sets.
What was normal like 20 years ago and like 80 years ago when our grandparents were coming up?
Yep.
Then that was normal.
That was normal.
What
do you get on the palate here?
So the taste, not a lot of the citrus taste carries over for me, at least not after it sits for a while. I got quite a bit of caramel and then almost like an amaretto coffee flavor. Obviously not the bitterness of the coffee, but it's kind of like a sweet amaretto coffee.
Huh. I don't get that at all.
No?
So I get the citrus fruits definitely on the palate. I get the sweet candy again. I get almost like a rum cream flavor to the whiskey because there's a little bit of creaminess.
A little bit of creaminess.
It's kind of like, have you had rum cream?
I've had rum and cream.
All right.
Not at the same time.
I've had this other thing that you didn't mention.
Well, it's kind of like when you made the peanut butter whiskey shot.
But it's kind of got like a little rum cream to it. It's good.
Yeah.
Like very unique whiskey. I like it a lot.
Oh, it's quite good.
The rye just throws me off.
Yeah.
Because I do pick it out very, very faintly.
I do not.
In the taste, because I know it's a rye.
I haven't had a lot of ryes.
And I can tell that there's a rye mash, obviously, that used to make it. But if you put this in a lineup like we did in our whiskey tasting, we had 5 or 6 whiskeys? 6. We had 6 whiskeys. I did not pick up on it then.
Yep.
It's purely because I know it's there, and I can pick it up. And it's still very, very light, even though I know it's there. But, yeah, this is up there for a rye for me. This is probably one of the most tasty ones I've had.
I think so, too. Of the ryes I've had, I think this is probably my favorite one that I've had. You know what? I can't even say that because the one that won our whiskey tasting was a rye. And I think I did rate that one higher than this one. The Redwood.
Oh, yeah. Was that a rye, though?
It was.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right.
100%.
I'll trust you.
So
I'm going to look it up after the podcast.
I can look it up right now because I got a picture of it on my phone.
Yeah, usually ryes are more kind of punch you in the face. They're usually higher alcohol content, and you usually tell that it's higher alcohol content. And this one you do not. This one's very smooth. It's very good. I don't get much bite on it. Even for a bourbon rye, which you usually get.
Yeah, 90 proof, so
it's 70 or 45%.
Yeah.
So
it's up there.
I think it's real good. I would give this one an 8.2 in my ranking.
I was thinking 8.0, but yeah.
What is the price on this bottle?
$37 before tax.
Wow.
Great deal.
So it's very good value.
Very good.
Bulleit rye.
Bulleit rye.
Real good.
Got a nice green label. And...
I must say I don't really like the regular Bulleit bourbon either.
Yeah. I haven't had the Bulleit bourbon, but after trying the rye, I will be trying it.
It's not as good.
Maybe you just had a bad experience.
I mean, I've had it a couple times.
Yeah.
It's a friend of ours, Nick's. It's one of his like go-tos.
Yeah.
So he has it at his house a lot, and
Okay.
I've had it a few times, like multiple, like 3 or 4. And yeah, it's never my favorite. I would take. I think it's about similar price too. I think it's about $40.
Yeah.
For the regular Bulleit.
Yeah, I think they're the same price. Where I got this one, it was 37. I think the Bulleit bourbon was 37.
All right. So I would pick the Bulleit rye over the regular Bulleit every time.
Okay. And just to follow up there, the one that won our tasting that was also a rye was Redwood Empire.
Wow.
Which was
a rye too.
It was. And that was a $30 bottle of whiskey.
That
was spectacular.
Yes. So just say the name one more time for our listeners.
Redwood Empire.
And it's a rye.
And it is a rye whiskey.
It is excellent. And it was like $33.
Yep, it was incredible.
So that's a great value whiskey right there. Where we can.
Well,
all right, we were Chinese before we started podcasting.
Well,
and when we heard the knock on the door, me and Tyler didn't know what to do. We were like, do we stop? Do we continue? Do we tell people we ordered Chinese? But what we did was we stopped the recording, went and got it, and we're back. But
now we're going to go eat it.
Yeah.
Because Chinese food is pretty good.
So you said 8.0 on this whiskey.
8.0.
I'm going to give it
8.2.
I'm going to 8.2.
That's nice. That's a high rating for.
This is a really high rating. I am taking into consideration that it is a rye and it is a bourbon and that it is $37 a little bit. But yeah, this is delicious.
I'll tell you what, I've been drinking. You can see by the bottle that I've been hitting it this last week.
And that's a liter bottle too, right?
It is.
It's not a 750. It looks
liter.
All right. It looks bigger than a 750. So
I did have people over last night that also took a couple swigs off it too. But
oh yeah. When you have company over, when you pour liquor, it goes down real quick.
Yeah.
Because you actually know that I for 750, it's about 26 ounces in a 750.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So I mean, you really think about it. Usually a pour is an ounce to an ounce and a half ish.
About 20.
Yeah, when you're sharing it, if you have like 5 people over and each of them have an ounce and a half, it does a significant hit on your bottle.
Which, in having a nice whiskey that is not expensive, is nice to be able to pull out in those circumstances.
It is.
So I would definitely recommend Bulleit Rye if you guys like to have a whiskey that is both delicious and affordable.
Yep. Well, that does it for this week's episode.
Yep.
And we will see you on Thursday where we pick the playoff games. As always, let us know on Twitter what your thoughts and comments or questions are at Grown Man's Pod. And as always, stay manly.
Yeah, absolutely.